Northwest D.C., about a mile from the Capitol, and a few blocks from Howard University. I live alone, but someday I want to get married, have children, and live happily ever after. I dream of meeting that one woman who becomes your life, and of just belonging to someone. You know, people ask how I found out I had HIV, and I tell them, I didn't go and get tested. It was the spring of 1986 between my freshman and my sophomore year in college. And being a scholarship athlete, one of the requirements was to do community service type work. And so what I did was donate blood at the blood bank. So after maybe my third or my fourth visit, the nurse stopped me and told me the doctor needed to speak to me before I went to the back with the rest of the guys to donate blood. And that's when they told me. They found the antibodies to the virus in my blood, and I can no longer donate blood. You know, it's easy now to say that it was shock, but at the time, it seemed like everything was going in slow motion. I mean, I knew exactly what the doctor was saying, but I didn't. It was like denial. Well, I've been positive for 20 years, and after 20 years, I've learned just to deal with it, just to be able to survive, work, and live a fairly normal existence. And I know the risk categories they would apply to me, and the only possible way was through unprotected heterosexual sex. And normally when I talk to a group, especially kids in high school or in college, I try not to break it down like that because it almost seems like I'm trying to distance myself, like, yo, I'm not gay, man, I'm not gay. But I want them to understand that unprotected sex comes in many forms. So that's why I say it that way. Now I work in the field as an advocate for those who are positive, providing everyone equal access to quality health care.
I found out that I was HIV positive when I went to go visit family in another state. I had what I thought was a sore throat. After running the test, they told me that I was HIV positive. When they gave me the news, I really didn't do too much at first. Well, actually, I just said, okay. I was infected by my boyfriend of a 2-year long-term monogamous relationship. A relationship I thought was monogamous. Actually, I found out that he was married with children. I was 19 when I met him. He claimed he was 27, but it turned out that he was actually 41. He told me he was single, asked if I'd be interested in dating. I said yes. The relationship began, and we got involved with each other, but no protection was ever used. Now, as I earlier stated, I found out that he was married because I decided to go and visit him unexpectedly. So I get there, I ring the bell, he answers, and then I hear a female voice. So I say to him, who is that? He just ignores my question. And then he says to me, you gotta leave now. After that, I had one more encounter with him, a telephone call. I called him up and I said to him, I am HIV positive. He never acknowledged having HIV. But instead, he began to argue with me and put the blame on me like I gave it to him and that it was my fault that I was HIV positive. After that, I had no other contact with him. I didn't tell anyone. Well, the military people, they told my mother. And my mother, she told everybody in the family, everybody. I didn't know where I was going to go from there because I thought it was an automatic death sentence. I am a Christian, and my dependence on God was a lot of how I got through. You know, without my faith, I wouldn't have had anything to turn to or anyone to turn to. And that's because my family wasn't supportive of me at first. But I found out that there is life after being HIV positive. Sure, you feel very terrible and bad once you receive that diagnosis, But life goes on. It doesn't stop because of the diagnosis. It keeps going on. So my message to anyone who's HIV positive is to stay positive and keep an optimistic attitude towards life. And to everyone else, get tested and know your status.
Hello, my name is Raven Lopez. I'm a 19-year-old African American. Well, really, I'm half Hispanic and some other stuff. But I look black, so you know how that goes. I'm from Trinidad, was raised in Brooklyn, and currently living in the Bronx. I have the monster, but my mom didn't tell me until I was 6 years old. It hasn't been easy getting here today, but like my mom says, you gotta do what you have to do. You know, you may remember me from Ricky Lake or Oprah or even the magazines. I thought that was cool until I was taunted and mistreated. No one wanted to get close to the girl who had the monster. My Catholic school teacher started wearing plastic gloves and even told the kids not to touch or play with me. One of my classmates told me not to sit in a particular chair because she thought they would get the monster through my clothes. I lost many friends in the beginning, but thank God for my family and my church family. My pastor prayed a lot for us. It took some time for me to realize that I'm just like all of you. The only difference is there's no cure for my sickness. I attend school and have aspirations just like any other teen. I'm starting college this year, and I will be a lawyer one day. I have good friends, and I even date every once in a while. Yes, they all know that I'm infected, and they're very supportive. They even remind me to take my meds. But even if they weren't, I'd still be okay. I know how to handle ignorance now. If you care for yourself, your family, your friends, or anyone, it's time for you to stop walking in ignorance. Can you stand to care right now?
It's time to get the facts.
Get tested.
Get involved.